The silence in Hollow Creek was deafening. It was a silence born of fear, a chilling reminder of the horrors that had unfolded. Episode 1 had ripped away the facade of normalcy, exposing the darkness lurking beneath. A killer walked among them, his name whispered like a curse. Jacob Thorne. 2 lives brutally extinguished, their only connection, Thorne's twisted game. He was a phantom, leaving behind a trail of cryptic clues and shattered lives. The victims, seemingly random, their deaths anything but. The police were baffled, their investigation a desperate race against time. The town held its breath. The fear was palpable, a suffocating blanket over every home, every street corner. Sleep offered no escape. Haunted by the specter of Jacob Thorne. He was out there somewhere watching, waiting, and the game had just begun. The weight of the investigation pressed down on the Hollow Creek Police Department. Resources were stretched thin, the pressure immense. A sense of urgency permeated every corner of the station. It was then that Detective Laura Hayes arrived, a beacon of steely determination in the growing storm. Hayes was a force of nature, her reputation preceding her. Sharp, intuitive, and relentless, she possessed an almost preternatural ability to dissect a crime scene. Her eyes missed nothing, her mind a steel trap, piecing together the puzzle that was Jacob Thorne.
The victims. Their lives cut tragically short. They became my sole focus. Each crime scene, each photograph, it's all a macabre puzzle piece. Thorne's calling card, that single black rose, it mocks me from every scene. But it's his messages, those cryptic taunts, they fascinate me. They're riddles, a window into the mind of a monster, and I am determined to decipher them, to understand the twisted logic that guides Jacob Thorne.
Detective Hayes' attention turned to the man himself, Jacob Thorne. His past was a tapestry of darkness, woven with threads of violence and instability. Abandoned by his parents, he grew up in the system, a troubled child lost in a world that offered him little solace. Hayes pored over Thorne's juvenile records, each incident a brushstroke painting a disturbing portrait. Petty theft escalated to arson, then aggravated assault. A pattern of escalating violence, culminating in a brutal attack that landed him in a psychiatric facility. It was within the walls of the institution that Thorne's fascination with puzzles and mind games took root. He excelled at manipulating those around him, his cunning masked by a veneer of normalcy. He studied psychology, delving into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Thorne learned to exploit weakness, to prey on vulnerability. He became a master manipulator, capable of twisting perception and bending others to his will. And it was here within the sterile confines of the institution that the seeds of his deadly game were sown. The tranquility of Hollow Creek vanished, replaced by the incessant hum of news helicopters and the blinding glare of camera flashes. The media, sensing a story ripe with fear and intrigue, descended upon the town like vultures.
News vans lined the streets, their satellite dishes reaching for the sky like grotesque antennae. Reporters, hungry for any scrap of information, camped outside the police station and the homes of victims.
Every detail, no matter how insignificant, was amplified, broadcast across the airwaves and splashed across newspapers. The residents of Hollow Creek, once bound by a sense of community, now eyed each other with suspicion.
Fear had a way of distorting reality, turning neighbors into potential threats. The once peaceful town was transformed into a stage, its residents unwilling actors in a macabre spectacle.
The media frenzy, while providing a morbid fascination for the public, only served to complicate the investigation. The constant scrutiny and speculation added pressure to an already tense situation. Every misstep, every dead end was magnified, fueling public fear and hindering the pursuit of Jacob Thorne. As the body count rose, so too did the audacity of Thorne's taunts. He seemed to revel in the fear he instilled, his actions a perverse performance designed to humiliate and demoralize the police. He was always one step ahead, anticipating their every move. He left messages at crime scenes, cryptic clues scrawled on walls or whispered through police radio frequencies. Each taunt was a calculated move, designed to mislead and misdirect. He toyed with them, leaving a trail of false leads and dead ends. One evening, a local news channel received a package. Inside, a VHS tape. The footage sent chills down the spines of everyone who watched it. It showed one of Thorne's victims, bound and gagged, just hours before their death. The fear in their eyes was palpable, a stark reminder of the killer's cruelty. Thorne's message was clear: he was in control. He dictated the rules of this macabre game, and he was playing for keeps. The police were left reeling, their every move anticipated, their efforts seemingly futile. Thorne was always one step ahead, his presence felt but never seen.